The massive council ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. Its pearl-white hull gleamed in the distant sunlight as it carefully approached the third planet. On the bridge, First Speaker Dale of the Galactic Council stood tall, his forearms clasped behind his back in a gesture of peaceful intent common to his species. "Another primitive world to welcome into our fellowship," Dale said to his crew. "Initiate standard first contact protocols." For 10,000 years, the Council had perfected this process. They would appear at a safe distance, broadcast greetings in the local language, and wait for an enthusiastic response from the newly discovered civilization. This formula had always worked, ensuring peaceful integration into the Council. But this time, something felt different. Unease lingered in the air. Within minutes of their arrival, the ship's sensors detected unusual activity across Earth's orbital space. Satellites began repositioning themselves in deliberate patterns, hidden weapon platforms emerged from behind the moon, and a fleet of warships previously masked by advanced stealth technology appeared in precise defensive formations around the planet. It was an immediate, coordinated response. First Speaker, the sensor officer, called out, "They're activating defensive systems across their entire solar system. We're detecting weapon locks from multiple platforms." Dale blinked all four of his eyes in disbelief. Impossible. They shouldn't have this level of technology. Our survey classified them as a level 2 civilization, barely reaching for their moon. The communication officer's tentacles twisted in agitation. "Sir, I'm broadcasting our greeting message on all frequencies, but they're not responding." "Wait. They are actively jamming our transmissions." Deep within underground bunkers, human military commanders observed the alien vessel with grim determination. Political leaders convened in emergency sessions, and troops mobilized worldwide with practiced efficiency. Earth's response was unlike anything the Council had ever encountered. There were no celebrations, no eager attempts at communication. Instead, the planet's combined military forces moved with the precision of a civilization that had been here before. First Speaker, the tactical officer, reported, "Their weapons are far more advanced than preliminary surveys indicated. They appear to have hybrid technology. Some systems don't match any known designs in our database." A chill ran through Dale's body. This wasn't how first contact was supposed to go. "Move us back to a safer distance," he ordered. "Let's try approaching from a different vector." As the Council ship adjusted its position, a single text-based message cut through their communications. "Maintain current distance. Any approach will be considered a hostile action." The bridge crews stared at the message in shock. No newly discovered species had ever rejected Council contact. It defied everything they understood about developing civilizations. First Speaker. The science officer said, reviewing data streams, "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from several of their installations. They appear to be defense systems we've never seen before. Some of their orbital platforms also show signs of weapon damage, old damage from previous battles." Dale's professional composure cracked slightly. "Previous battles? That's not possible. We're the first advanced civilization to find them." But the evidence was undeniable. Earth bristled with weapons and defense systems that showed years of development and refinement. Their orbital infrastructure was not built for peaceful exploration, it was designed for war. As the Council ship maintained its position, more human warships emerged from hiding spots throughout the solar system. They moved with practiced precision, taking up screening positions around Mars, Jupiter's moons, and several asteroid clusters. First Speaker, the tactical officer, said quietly, "They're not acting like a species encountering advanced alien life for the first time. They're acting like they've done this before." Dale's voice was heavy with realization, and whatever happened in those previous encounters taught them not to trust anyone coming from the stars. The Council ship hung motionless in space, its crew watching with growing unease as Earth's defenses continued to activate. Their perfect record of peaceful first contact was about to be stained with its first failure, and none of them understood why. What they didn't know What they couldn't know was that they weren't the first visitors to Earth. They were just the first ones to try asking nicely. 3 months after the failed first contact, the Council's diplomatic chamber was in chaos. The massive circular room, designed to host representatives from 300 species, echoed with heated debates and worried whispers. First Speaker Dale stood at the central podium, his gray skin pale with stress. "The humans have shot down our 6th diplomatic probe," he announced to the assembled representatives. "They didn't even let it get past their outer defense line." A wave of muttering swept through the chamber. On the giant screens above, footage showed a small council probe exploding in a flash of light. A human defensive satellite had destroyed it without warning. "What kind of civilization refuses to even talk?" asked the representative from the crystal worlds, their crystalline form flickering with infused colors. "It goes against all known patterns of species development." The head of the Council's Intelligence Division, Director Tom, stepped forward. His robotic body hummed quietly as he projected new images onto the screens. They showed Earth's rapidly expanding military presence across their solar system. "In the past 3 months," Tom reported, "the humans have built 3 new space stations around Mars. They've placed weapon platforms throughout their asteroid belt. Most concerning." He paused for effect. "They're building what appears to be a massive defensive wall of satellites around their entire solar system." The chamber erupted in shock. No species had ever attempted to fortify an entire solar system before. The cost and technology required would be enormous. "But where did they get such advanced technology?" someone shouted from the upper rings. Director Tom's electronic eyes flickered. "That's the most interesting part. Our analysis shows their technology is mixed. Some of it is clearly their own design, but other parts," he displayed close-up images of human ships. "Other parts appear to be adapted from different technological bases, as if they've taken pieces of various alien technologies and made them their own." The implication sent a chill through the chamber. Humans hadn't just encountered alien life before, they'd apparently fought it and won, salvaging technology from their victories. Weeks of exhaustive analysis followed. Junior researchers combed through ancient records, piecing together fragments of galactic history. In the Council's central archive station, junior researcher Ben found himself staring at an anomaly, a missing section of data labeled 47B24. It was classified, but what little hints he uncovered pointed to Earth's ancient past. By connecting scattered dots, Ben uncovered a buried secret. 50,000 years ago, Earth had survived an invasion from the Old Empire, a once powerful warrior civilization. The Old Empire, confident in their strength, had sent fleets to Earth. None had returned. The records were fragmented, but they spoke of humans salvaging alien technology, reverse engineering it, and preparing for future battles. This explained Earth's hybrid systems, the remnants of millennia spent defending their home from invaders. The Old Empire's collapse had begun with their failed conquest of Earth. Ben burst into the Council's chamber, clutching his findings. "First Speaker," he called out, breaking protocol. "Earth has been fighting off alien invasions for over 50,000 years. They're not just a primitive species. They're a battle-hardened one." The chamber fell silent as Ben displayed the evidence. Timeline after timeline showed repeated invasion attempts, all repelled. Each victory had made Earth stronger, their technology more advanced. Humanity wasn't new to galactic conflict, they had been shaped by it for millennia. The implications were staggering. Earth's silence wasn't a sign of ignorance or fear, it was deliberate. It was the calculated response of a civilization that had seen too much, fought too often, and learned the hard way that trust was a luxury they couldn't afford. Back in the Council chamber, First Speaker Dale's composure faltered for the first time in years. He leaned forward on the podium, his 4 eyes scanning the stunned faces of the representatives. "If what you're saying is true, junior researcher Ben," he began cautiously, "then we're not dealing with a primitive species. We're dealing with one that has more experience with alien contact than we do." Ben nodded. Yes, first speaker. And not just contact warfare. The record suggests that every invasion attempt taught humanity something new. They've adapted and evolved, not just biologically, but technologically and strategically. Their defenses, their fleet movements, even their silence, it's all a result of millennia of preparation. The chamber erupted in murmurs again. A representative from the Blue Star Alliance raised a crystalline appendage. If they've been defending themselves for so long, why not join the Council for protection? Why isolate themselves? Director Tom stepped forward, his robotic eyes flickering as he processed the question. Perhaps they see alliances as vulnerabilities. Every species that has tried to conquer Earth first approached with gestures of peace, only to reveal hostile intent. To them, our overtures likely resemble past attempts at deception. Dale straightened, his expression grave. So you're saying, to humanity, we're just another threat? Tom's robotic voice carried a tone of grim agreement. Exactly. 2 weeks later, the Council sent its most advanced diplomatic vessel toward Earth. On board was Ambassador Ray, a being whose species was renowned for their ability to communicate across even the most complex cultural and biological barriers. Ray's directive was clear: establish contact, no matter the cost. As the vessel approached the edge of Earth's fortified solar system, Ambassador Ray broadcast a simple message across all frequencies: we come in peace. For hours there was no response. The silence grew heavier with each passing moment, as Earth's defense systems tracked the ship's every move. Finally, a text-based response arrived. You are not welcome. Do not advance. Ambassador Ray, undeterred, responded with carefully crafted images and messages, showcasing the Council's peaceful worlds and the prosperity that came from unity. He hoped that the visuals would speak to the humans in a way words could not. But instead of a reply, Earth's defensive satellites began repositioning themselves. It was a warning, a silent reminder that the next step would not be as forgiving. Ray sighed, his tentacles drooping slightly. They're not listening, he murmured to his crew. They've already decided. Months passed, and Earth's fortifications only grew stronger. Observational posts near the outer edges of the solar system reported alarming developments. Earth was not just defending its home, it was expanding. Military bases appeared on Mars, Venus, and the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Each outpost bristled with weaponry, shield generators, and scanning arrays designed to detect threats from light years away. In the Council chamber, First Speaker Dale reviewed the latest reports. They're building a defensive network unlike anything we've ever seen. They're not just fortifying, they're preparing for a galaxy-wide threat. Ben, now promoted to senior researcher, stepped forward. There's one more thing, First Speaker. Our long-range scans indicate they're constructing something massive near Pluto. We believe it's a forward operating base, a command center designed to monitor the entire galaxy. The chamber fell silent. Finally, Dale spoke. We've underestimated them at every turn. The question is, do we continue trying to make contact, or do we leave them alone? A representative from the Galactic Core Alliance hesitated before replying. Can we risk leaving them alone? What happens when their defenses turn outward? 1 year after the Council's initial contact attempt, humanity had claimed its solar system in full. Their planets and moons were fortified, their fleets expanded, and their scanning arrays constantly monitored the galaxy. Earth had become a fortress, unlike anything the Council had ever seen. In a secret meeting among the Council's senior leadership, Dale posed the question that had been haunting them all: what do we do if humanity decides we're a threat? The room was silent, but the answer was clear. Humanity wasn't just another species to integrate, they were a force to reckon with, a civilization forged in the fires of countless wars. And somewhere on Earth, human leaders watched the stars with the same grim determination they had shown for millennia, knowing that the galaxy might never truly understand them. But that was fine. They didn't need to be understood. They only needed to survive.